Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is the Haves and the Have-Nots Season 5, Episode 14, and the name of this episode is Mad City. Now, the episode begins where it left off. Pretty much, the detective that came to ask Benny questions decides to arrest him at the hospital, and this is right after, little Quincy has been pronounced dead. So, it just shows you right there, this damn detective is just thirsty for a conviction, and if he can fucking put everything on Benny, he's all down with it. And right now, he's flexing his muscle, and he's talking big shit. He's like, so you gonna tell me something? You gonna let me know what I need to know? And, Benny's like, I don't know anything. What the fuck you want, man? Like, I don't know nothing. He's like, yeah, that's what you're saying, but I can prove otherwise. And it's just like the detective doesn't really care for what Benny has to say at this moment. He's just mad that he's not getting what he wants because he wants Candace. And he wants Candace more than anything. And Benny is not trying to give Candace up. So he's like, I will throw everything on you then. And he's like, you just can't arrest me for no reason. Like, you need probable cause. He's like, yeah, you're resisting arrest. So I'm like, here we go with that police brutality shit. Well, the fact that you're resisting, I can put it on that. I can take you down for that you resist, that you were, resisting the police. So I can use that as a reason to take you down. But regardless of the fact you don't tell me what I need to know, you go into jail. And then he's like, well, fuck you, take me to jail if that's what you want to do. And then Mitch is like, you know what, this is some bullshit. Don't even sweat this shit. I'm going to get you a lawyer. You're going to be out in no time. Don't even sweat it. And then the next thing you know, Mitch had mentioned, why don't you, we should, get that Veronica Harrington, and then Benny's like, yo, I'm not fucking with her. She's crazy. I don't want nothing to do with her. Next thing you know, we see Veronica actually walks past, and then Mitch like, Mrs. Harrington. I'm like, Mitch is like really quick on his feet. Because he's like, first of all, you need somebody that's going to get you out and someone who can make it happen. And you already know that she is like a slam dunk lawyer, so you might as well get her. So all of a sudden she walks up, she's like, excuse me, what's going on? What are they arresting you for? And then the detective's like, well, you can actually ask him questions down at the precinct because that's where he's going. And she's like, excuse me, but this is my client, and if I want to talk to my client, I'll talk to my client. And then, the detective's like, well, you already know how things are, Mrs. Harrington. So everybody in the precinct know who Veronica is, and that Veronica is ruthless. So she pretty much tells Benny, don't talk to anybody, don't say anything, don't worry, I got you. So Benny gets taken off to jail, but before, and you remember, Justin was with him. Next thing you know, Justin says that he's going to check out something, so Justin leaves, and we actually see Justin later on. And that was a crazy situation in and of itself, but I'm going to get to it. So, next thing you know, after the detective takes out Benny, we see David Harrington comes in, because, he's there looking for Jeffrey. Immediately, Veronica saw him and decides she pretty much leaves Mitch where he is, and she goes to follow David. And then her and David start talking. And, he pretty much is paying Veronica dust. It's like he is not giving her no attention. He is like, okay, I'm here to see my son. Do you know where my son is? And if you can't tell me where my son is, you really have nothing to say to me. So he's been trying to call Jeffrey, but he's not reaching Jeffrey. And he pretty much, he also knows that, because Jeffrey had told him about what happened with Melissa. So he goes to the front desk to ask about Melissa, and he only knows Melissa's first name. He doesn't know her last name. And so, pretty much he ain't able to get no information in regards to that. But then, Veronica in her smug ass way was like, well, you should know the last name of your future daughter-in-law. And then, like, he's pretty much saying that, you know what, all of this is your fault. You have done so much crap that you literally pushed this girl to want to take her own life. And, like, this what you do. Like, you're always finding, something to play on, always using something to control somebody with. You just can't help yourself, because that's exactly what you're doing with that girl. And then he said, you know what? I'm glad I left your ass. And she's like, are you sure you're fully gone? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm completely through with your ass. Then she starts talking like, the strange thing about marriage is that, your partner relies on you and your partner tells you everything. But then you have what you call a mad day. And that's when your partner shares like their deepest, darkest secrets, the ones they tell nobody. So just to let you know, I have enough ammunition to shut you down, David. And David's like, you think I'm afraid of you, Veronica? I know a lot of shit about you, too. Like, your ass ain't squeaky clean. And Veronica's like, yeah, but I cover my tracks better than you do. And she's like, you know what? You are like a rabid wolf who just, and then all of a sudden, damn, Jim Cryer out of nowhere just comes out, woo, woo. I was like, Jim, you crazy son of a bitch. I was so here for Jim Cryer at that moment, because he just came in there howling like a wolf, because he's saying that because we know that Veronica's ruthless, and she will not stop until she gets to the bottom of shit. That's just how she's wired. And then all of a sudden Jim was like, is everything okay? You two look tense. Is everything okay? And then she's like, and then, they pretty much going back and forth, and he's saying that, look, you look really, she's like, look, Veronica, I pretty much want to make sure that we're still on the same team and that we're all, we're all in this together and all this shit. But it's still kind of poking fun. And and pretty much she was like, oh, yeah, you talking about, Catherine murdering the DA in cold blood? Yeah, yeah, your secret's safe with me. I'll still keep your secret. But she was like, look, I'm going to and then Jim's like, well, don't worry, that's being handled. I'm always handling things. And then she was like, well, you didn't handle your son, obviously. And he's like, don't bring my son into this. Which I'm trying to play nice with you, Veronica. I'm trying to make things right. And she's like, but the funny thing about it is that your son is here. And he's like, what? What the hell do you mean my son's here? She's like, your son is here. You should go see about him. He's like, what the hell do you mean my son is here? So Jim is irate now because he comes to find out that, Wyatt's there, and he doesn't even know why Wyatt's there. So pretty much he goes to the front desk and he's going crazy like, yo, what the hell is going on? Why is my son here? What is my son doing here? And I'm like, oh, great, Jim. Here you go, about to go fuck some shit up. Here it is, your son has the possibility of getting a full recovery from his drug addiction, but here go Jim trying to run shit, and Jim always finds a way to fuck shit up. So we see that Jim just goes off the handles. Then we see that Jeffrey finally goes to see Melissa. Melissa is not here for the bullshit. And I can say in this situation, yes, I can see that Jeffrey was being sincere and he does care about her, but Jeffrey, think about it. You have been a complete asshole to that girl for the longest. She needed a friend and someone to confide in. You practically gave her your ass to kiss, and you were real smug and nasty to her, when she is just as much of a victim as you. And she pretty much says, he's like, look, I really do care. And she's like, no the hell you don't. The only person that cared about me is dead. My father cared about me. And he's like, well, what about your mother? And she's like, well, does your mother love you? Because my mom is exactly like yours. So, my father loves me. My father loved me unconditionally, and now my father's gone. And and it's to the point where I don't give a fuck no more. So she's pretty much was just like, get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk to you. You know, just leave, get away from me. And Jeffrey is like really torn in a way because he doesn't understand why she feels this way. But I'm like, Jeffrey, think about the way you've been treating her. So, quiet as kept, you brought that shit on to yourself. But yeah, that was crazy. Then we have a scene with Hannah and Catherine. Catherine gives her a sedative to help her to sleep. You know, she's still, and she's, you know, pretty much, and oh yes, Miss Catherine Quire got a nice new pad. I mean, that condominium was decked out. Like, she done moved and started her new life and everything, and she pretty much tells Hannah that, yeah, she moved out of the house and that she's divorcing Jim, and she's selling the house and everything. But she said, it's not about me, it's only about you. She's like, look, you need to shower before this pill kicks in. But she's like, I don't want to take a shower. She's like, but look at your hands. And she looks at her hands and she still sees little Quincy's blood on her, and she breaks down. And she's like, this is killing me. You know, this is breaking me down. And pretty much, you know, Catherine lets her know that, look, I know that you have been hit hard, and I don't think anybody has been hit hard like you have been hit. But you seem to always have this strong faith, and that I know you can persevere past this. But Hannah's like, I don't see how I'm ever gonna get past this. And you know, my nephew, my grandson is gone. You know, and next thing you know, she pretty much breaks down again. Catherine is there for her, and she finally gets her to go wash up because she looks in the mirror. She still sees the blood on her. She still sees the blood on her hands, and she is just torn apart. But I have to say, shout out to Crystal Fox. She is really doing some amazing acting on this show. So hands down, it was great. Next, we actually see that Jeffrey goes to see Wyatt. Wyatt is up, and you know, he's still going through withdrawal, and he's pretty much telling Jeffrey not to leave him, you know, to stay with him and everything. And Jeffrey realizes that, you know, that he sees that Wyatt uses him as a crutch. But then again, Jeffrey likes being used as a crutch. So, you know, he's pretty much seeing that that Wyatt's shaking, so he decides to get him a blanket. While he's going out to get the blanket, guess who he runs into? Justin's ass. And Justin, all of a sudden, is just, you know, just becomes real, you know, like, stalkerish in this moment. Because once you know, Jeffrey goes back to the room with Wyatt and gives him the blanket, we see Justin looking outside the hospital room door, all like, I'm just looking at this shit like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And then, you know, and then, like, Wyatt's like, yo, what is up with this dude? This dude is creepy, man. You need to stay away from him. Like, what the hell does he want? Why is he stalking you? And next thing you know, we see that Justin opens the door and is like, Jeffrey, I need to talk to you. He's like, you see I'm busy right now, so I can't talk to you right now, but I can call you. He's like, no, but I really do need to talk to you. And he's like, look, I'm going to be here for a while, so. But he's like, okay, fine. I'll wait here for you. So we actually see that this fool literally waited over an hour in order to talk to Jeffrey. But hold on, I'm going to get back to that. Then we get a damn scene with damn Oscar and Candace. And I will have to say this. Candace's ego is so fucking big, she don't know that she's probably walking in quicksand. Because what happens is that Oscar comes in with a bag full of money, $250,000. You know, pretty much she's like, oh great, you decided to pay me back for the money that you stole from me. And he's like, come on now, that was Jim's money, stop your bullshit. It's like, yeah, but you took it from me. You know, and as a matter of fact, you owe me 3.4 more. So I'm like, you know what? Candace is just still in her shit, and he's saying that, look, you know, what do you got on them? And she's like, look, I got nothing, you know. And he was like, look, you know, the only reason why you're getting this money is because I need something on him. I need something now. Look, my clients want him out the race. My clients want him out of the election. So you need to give me something and give me something good that I can take back to my clients, you know, so they can finally end his you know, campaign. Candace is on some other shit because she's thinking because she screwed his ass, you know, that she got the upper hand. And she's like, look, you know, you all talking about me being first lady in 8 years. She's like, look, this guy's gonna win. He's a great candidate, and I just think that your clients are just really fucked up, that you have these clients who just want to ruin a good man. He has a family. He has this and he has that. And next thing you know, like, Oscar's like looking at this shit like, girl, are you fucking stupid? Are you trying to mark him by yourself? Like, first of all, you won't be able to take him yourself. Second, you're in a totally different league now. This ain't the little damn hood niggas that you used to screwing and getting paid off of. This is like big money. This is long money. And then she also had to let her know that, do you think that presidents win honestly? You really think he's an honest person? You don't know nothing about politics. Politics, these people are bought and paid for, and they have an agenda already placed before they even get in office. So therefore, you don't know who's backing him. This guy doesn't come from a lot of money, but there's people with money who are supporting him. So you don't know what forces you're working with. But Candace is still in her shit, still thinking she got it made. She pretty much doesn't want to give back the money because she said, if you're not going to give me nothing on him, then I'm taking the money back. She's like, you ain't taking back nothing. This is my money. You owe me. And she's like, I'm not helping you with anything. But then she's like, I'll give you what you want, you know, just being very dismissive and tries to blow him off. But the funny thing about it, you know, pretty much Oscar's like, look, I'm not leaving here without that money. So you're going to give me the money back unless you do what I asked you to do. And she's like, look, I will scream to the top of my lungs. She's like, his Secret Service is right next door. She's like, I don't care. I'll scream bloody murder until you get the hell up out of here. So her ass starts screaming and shit, and Oscar runs out the room. Next thing you know, we see that she opens up the damn bag, and she realizes that the money ain't even real. So that just told you something right there, Candace. You got played yet again because you're still operating on a lower plateau than where you are. I mean, girl, you're sitting in the fucking Artesian. You're dealing with people who got long money, big money, and you think you're gonna beat them with her tactics. So it's like Oscar was trying to get her to know, like, you need to step your pussy up. But she's still on her old shit. And we see from next week, it's going to be a situation involving her and Charles. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. So pretty much we see back with this whole situation with Justin or whatever. Jeffrey, I already did mention that Jeffrey went to go get Wyatt a blanket, and that's when he ran into Justin. Then Justin pretty much was like, you know, I need to talk to you. I'll wait for you. You know, it doesn't matter. We need to talk. And next thing you know, we see that finally Anna, who's pretty much the clinician, comes back, and you know, pretty much, you know, they start talking to, Jeffrey starts talking to Anna, and he's saying that, look, we have to get him to, like, trade off his dependencies, and I am one of those dependencies. You know, I want him to be, he's like, I love him, and Anna was like, you know, you're a good friend, and, you know, Wyatt loves you. And she's like, and then she's like, well, then Jeffrey was like, you know, he's not gay. She's like, does he have to be gay for him to love you? He loves you, you love him. You know, and if that's a good thing, and he's lucky to have you in his life. But Jeffrey was saying that but the thing is, I've become a dependency that he's used to using, and I need to we need to change that. He needs to be able to stand on his own. So then he asks Anna, is there a policeman? Did she see a policeman that was out there? She's like, oh yeah, I've seen him. He's been standing in the same spot for over an hour. And as soon as damn Jeffrey goes out the room, that damn Justin is right there. Look, I need to talk to you. And he's like, you could have just called me. Why the hell are you still here? And he's like, look, I can't talk about this right here. We need to go somewhere and talk. So they go into the damn stairwell and shit. And while they're in the damn stairwell, we see that this damn Justin is psychotic like shit. Like, he just keeps going from one extreme to the other. He's like, look, I'm sorry. I didn't know that he was your friend. And I'm sorry, at that moment I got jealous and I kind of lost it. But it will never happen again. But then you kind of start seeing moments where it's like he was about to pop off again. He's like, look, I don't even know about this anymore. And he's like, don't do that, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, don't tell me that you're leaving me. And I'm like, oh my God, you have been sprung by the big black. I'm like, see, Jeffrey, you done decided to play with the monster. Now the monster's addicted. Like, I don't know what you did to the boy, but you done turned Justin into a good old power bottom that has lost his mind. And he's just really adamant, like, look, I need to talk to you, and I want you to know that I'm sorry, and I'm not used to this. I have a wife and everything, but I like being with you, and I like the way you make me feel. And I'm like, ooh, Justin was laying on thick. And then before, and then the thing about it, before they went to the stairwell, Veronica saw them go into the stairwell. So after they had their little moment, Jeffrey leaves, and then the next thing you know, we see damn Veronica coming up from the damn stairwell. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, that damn Veronica is like a thief in the night. She don't miss nothing. And then she comes out like, oh, so you're married. And I'm like, ooh. And that's where the episode ended. So when it comes back, we're going to definitely see what's going to go down between Justin and Veronica, because Veronica is about to introduce herself to Justin and let Justin know, no, boo-boo, I can fuck up everything. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, that whole scene between Justin and Jeffrey was crazy, because he's like, oh, so you're going to go back to him? You're going to go back to his room? I don't like it. And then Jeffrey's like, well, he's my best friend, so it is what it is. Like, so it's just like, it's crazy, because we're seeing that what Justin is going through is not a love thing, it's an obsession. He's become sexually obsessed with Jeffrey, and he doesn't want to let Jeffrey go. So we're going to see how that whole situation is going to play out. But that's my review, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I would love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of The Haves and the Have-Nots. So until then, everybody, take care.